This is my 2001 Turbo 330. It's been boosted for 2 years. I've had it for 6. This wouldn't have been possible without Jules of E46. He's talked me through all of this. He's done all the tuning. I was running 20 PSI on a unopened M54 B30, which is pretty good for a stock internal engine. Now I'm running a M52 iron block. It's converted dual Vanos. The head is actually stock with ZHP cams. I just wanted to keep it reliable. It was going to be expensive to do anything else. ARP head studs, Athena cut ring gasket, head gasket, diamond 9.5 pistons, forged H-beam rods, and I actually used the B28 crank because I didn't want to turn the spaghetti like a B30 crank at 7,000 RPM. And then upgraded oil pump, of course, that's a must. The valve cover is actually M56 valve cover. The filler neck was cut off and the filler was moved to where it should be. And some AN fittings added for the breather. Stock breather deleted. This turbo is actually, it's a Kuro 2, it's nothing fancy, but it's a Kuro 2 dual ball bearing billet wheel GT3584 with a stainless exhaust housing. It's a 106 AR exhaust housing. And then I have the PPF, gosh, the shadows are bad. I have the PPF intake manifold. I got it because it's beautiful. That's the main reason. Other than that, you can probably cook an egg on it when the car is the operating temp, which is kind of bad. Nuke Performance fuel rail with 1,150cc Bosch injectors, and I'm running a Walbro Hellcat fuel pump with a stock M3 filter and regulator setup. And this is an N62 throttle body that I'm running with the PPF because it required a much bigger throttle body, and it's actually plug and play with the stock harness, no changing wires or anything, so it's really nice. 3-inch downpipe, nothing fancy. CX Racing kit was what I started with, so it still has a CX Racing intercooler, which isn't bad at all, and it has the CX Racing turbo manifold, which was great until Corey and Misco said it was Misco. How do you pronounce your last name, Corey? I'm sorry. Until he told me it was going to crack, it ended up cracking. I welded it, but I really need to upgrade it, hopefully to a PPF also. To the body of the car, well, it's pretty stock. Looks like any average E46 in parallel like everyone else. At least it doesn't have a replica M3 bumper, though. I would probably have to send the whole car to the crusher. M-Tech 1 Hellrock car, factory. Running Federal tires on it, nothing fancy. 275s on the rear. They are a lot bigger than any other 275 I've ran. Probably more like a 285. Hard Motorsport flares, I don't recommend those. I should have went Musk. They're all right, but the fitment kind of sucked on them. CSL carbon trunk. Stock one had holes in it. Interior is full interior. I do not have AC, sadly, but I have everything else. I have a PSB1 boost gauge, AFR gauge, does both, has fail safes in it. You can view peak boost, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. It's pretty cool for what it is. With a Gretty boost controller, pretty old one. Natural brown interior, so that's kind of nice. Has BC Racing coilovers, extreme lows. And I'm actually running stock drive shaft, stock axles. I have a upgraded eBay 6-puck clutch, ZF 5-speed, so it should be able to hold hopefully the 30 pounds that I want to run. And I have a Seems Legit Garage diff mount kit that you weld on because the stock diff mounts will just rip off the subframe. Done that a couple times. Well, I'll go ahead and start it. It's 3-inch straight pipe all the way back, so it's kind of toxic. China Boy body mount. Injectors are pretty loud, unfortunately, but this engine only has about 300 miles on it now. I'll let this thing warm up. That's a cold start, but pretty cool gauge. Shows pressure at top. You can flip through it here. You can view peak, boost. You can go through all the settings, and you can actually set the peak boost that you want, and it'll control the Ready Boost controller. And if you go over peak boost, it'll go to just wastegate spring, which will be 9 psi for me. But yeah, it's been awesome, and it's been awesome working with B Racing. And I suck at videos, so I'm sorry about that. I've never made any videos of this car. If I did, they would probably get some interest, I would hope. So this was #1 attempt. I'll put some videos in here when I used to be on the stock B30 on like 18, 20 pounds. Some random videos and races maybe.